Hello YouTube, how y'all doing out there today? Today we are checking out this Olight PL-2 Mini. Now this is a light that has been on the market for many years and a light that I have been using multiple examples of for many years. This is actually, I believe, the third one I've had. I've had them on various different guns, rifles, carbines over the years, and then I trade guns and whatever, and I don't have the original ones that I used to have, but I do still have this one. And over the years, I also had the PL-2 Mini infrared, which was like a limited edition version, and an 850 nanometer infrared illuminator. And I also have done a review in the past for the PL-3 Mini, which is the latest version. They still sell both versions. They have different features. So the PL-3 did not make the PL-2 obsolete because they're different. But I'll put a link to that on the end screen and what have you. And what I'm going to do is a nighttime demonstration showing this thing in use at night. And I'll also do a little bit of a shooting demonstration a little later in the view, just briefly to show you the capabilities here. But let's take a look at this thing. You can see it right here. And it's very compact. This is a SIG P320 and we have it fully unloaded. You never know with a SIG. We have it mounted here, but let's do an unboxing first and then we'll talk about the light and show you the features of the light once we do the unboxing. Okay, so take a look at this here. Comes obviously the light is on the gun, but you come with the tray holder. And then underneath here, we have the magnetic charger. Now, I believe Olight is actually the company that pioneered the magnetic charger on flashlights years ago, but pretty much like almost everyone has switched to these by now. Different types, they have yet to really agree on an industry standard, but I believe Olight was the first company that started this technology. And then we have the manual. And here are your specs, your full specifications right there. And what do we got here? I believe some kind of warranty card or something. And then we also have the adapter so we could switch between Glock rail and Picatinny rail to get a nice snug fit, okay? So there's your unboxing portion. Now, the magnetic charger is very simple. On one end, it's a standard USB port, so you can plug it into any USB port. And the other end, you got this ring on the bottom right here, and the magnetic charger just clicks right on. And when the battery is not fully charged, it will light up red. And when the battery is fully charged, this LED will light up green. And it's a very, very pronounced, highly visible LED. So really handy. One of the things I like about it is if you're using this light on like your nightstand gun, you can keep the light, the magnetic charger plugged in, and you will see, even in pitch black from across the room or waking up from a deep sleep, you'll see that bright green LED. And that way you'll know exactly where your gun is, even if you're disoriented in the middle of the night or whatever. So it's actually a pretty cool beacon, and that's a feature that I like about this a lot. Okay. Now, to put it on and off is extremely simple. It's got a little QD lever right here. Click that. Okay, now if you look, just moves back and forth, all right? And what you do is you slide it like this, and then you clip it on your pistol. And once you got it clipped on, you slide it all the way back till it hits the trigger guard, hit your QD, and this way it will adjust to any handgun, different type of handgun you own, no matter how long or short the rail is or where the lugs are positioned. So that is a great feature. A lot of companies have since covered that, copied that as well, but I believe Olight was the pioneer for that. All right, and to activate it is very simple. They have these little switches that push up and down. A lot of companies use switches to push in, and they are much easier to accidentally activate. So, but requiring you to push it down to turn it on and off, you're a lot less likely to accidentally turn it on. It's still very, very easy to do. Trigger finger or two-handed grip with your thumb but it's a lot less likely to be accidentally triggered. So that's another really good feature of this. Another really good feature is this will work even on really compact pistol rails because, like I showed you, how you can slide it around. So this will work. If this light will not work on your compact pistol rail, there's probably no light on the market that's going to work because of how compact this is and how adaptable it is because of the sliding mechanism. All right. Now, the main difference between this and the PL-3, the PL-3 Mini has a detachable battery. All right. And it comes with two. So what you do with that is you take your old battery off, you put your new battery on, and you keep your old battery charging. So on that design, you'll always have a battery fully charged, theoretically. Or if you're in the field and your battery dies while you're in the field, you could just put a new battery in it because, like I said, it comes with two. It is a proprietary battery on that one, and that's also magnetic charging. So they both have almost the exact same specs, if not the exact same specs. The only difference is that the PL-3 has the interchangeable battery and is more money. Now, this one does not have an interchangeable battery, but for a lot of different uses, that doesn't really matter. Concealed carry, for home defense, planking, target shooting, all that different stuff. That really only matters. The only time the interchangeable battery really matters to me would be for military or like professional duty use. But like, you're an officer, you go on a call, you have to keep your light lit for, 45 minutes, and now it's going to be dead for the rest of your shift. Well, with the PL-3, you can just swap over to the new battery. All right. But if you're not in that use case scenario, the PL-2 is still an outstanding light. Now, the PL-2 also has a screw lug attachment as opposed to the QD lever. You could buy, it runs on this same mounting attachment, okay? But the one it comes with is a screw. So if you want this feature on the PL-3, you have to buy that separately, okay? But they're both excellent lights. I've used and tested both of them really extensively. And, I would recommend either one. Olight, a lot of people crap on Olight. I have had really, really good experiences with them. I've used a lot of their different lights over the years. And the only one I ever had break, the battery went, it stopped charging. And I sent it to them, and they sent me a brand new one. No questions asked. So even if one of their lights does break, it has a lifetime warranty, and, they'll give you a new one. No questions asked. But really good lights. All right, let's get out here tonight and do a little bit of a demonstration of the capabilities of this thing, and then we'll come back in and wrap it up. All right, folks, so we are out here at night. We have our Olight PL-2 Mini on our SIG P322. And down here, we are at 20 yards, and we have an array of targets. You can see left to right, we have an 8-inch clanger, a mini bowling pin, and an 8x12 A-zone target. They're kind of hanging crooked. I was shooting earlier today and broke the cables, so I got to restring it. I haven't done that yet, but this should suit our purposes quite well here. So if I turn this off, as you can see, it is utterly and completely pitch black. So at 20 yards, boom, we're lighting that target array up perfectly well, and it's very easy to see it. And let's see how we can score some hits. We will be shooting one-handed. We're just left to right. Well, that was 4 shots, 4 hits, no problem. So as you can see at 20 yards, absolutely no problem. One-handed, scoring hits down there. Now, if we shine over here, down here is my lake. You could see, let's see if you could see down there. Down there is my lake, and that lake is 80 yards from where I'm standing. And I can, with my naked eye, just see the far bank. And that far bank, like I said, is 80, 85 yards from where I'm standing right here. So, to the naked eye, that 100 meter throw is, it's plausible. It's right around there, plus or minus a few yards. But if we walk around navigating with this thing, you could see it's absolutely no problem. Now we're back here a bit farther. We're at about 30 yards. highlighting our target. Let's take a little walk with this guy so you can see how it highlights everything. Now you can see the way the suppressor casts a shadow. It's not actually a suppressor, as you heard. This is a threaded barrel extension. So this actually has a 10-inch barrel on it. It's rifled. And you can see that it does cast a bit of a shadow, but that's only because it sticks out so far past the light. On a normal handgun with a normal length barrel, that would not be a problem. But here we are, we're walking, and again, it is pitch black on my homestead. You cannot see anything. Hit the light, you can see just fine. So I would say, especially for urban or suburban areas, this has plenty of power, and it's going to definitely do you good. For a subcompact handgun or whatever, look at it, we got a country spider right here. That's a little baby one. They get really big, those guys. But yeah, we have plenty of performance with this. You know, I've actually been using these for many years, these PL2s. This is probably the third one I've had. I also had their PL2 infrared model, which was like a special edition, limited edition model for a couple of years, and that worked great. And I reviewed the PL-3 Mini recently. So I've had a lot of really good experience with these mini series of lights, and they've never failed on me. So, all right, folks, see you on the inside. Okay, folks, so you got to see this thing in action. You got to see its capabilities at night. You know, they claim a 100-meter throw, and based on what I just experienced outside at night, and, you know, I could have told you that already because I've been using them for years, but I demonstrated outside at night that you can see across my lake with this thing, keeping in mind that the human eye sees better at night with the amount of illumination that this light provides than my camera does, okay? So it's got a legitimate amount of throw. It's plenty bright enough for home defense, urban use, suburban use. The only time that I would think that you need a more powerful light, honestly, is for law enforcement, military, or like really rural use out here where I live. But even still, out here, it's still very useful. Okay, I just tend to use much more powerful lights like Olight PL Turbo and a PL Valkyrie Turbo. And a couple of my neighbors used mine. They liked it so much they went out and bought their own as well. I have a review for that. I'll also put an end screen, and that thing is phenomenal. But for most uses, for most situations, especially concealed carry, this is going to be more than enough light. And it's very easy to use. It's incredibly intuitive. It's a very positive activation, very low risk of it turning on by accident, which can get you killed. So this is a really good light. I've been using them literally for probably 5 years or more, and I definitely recommend them. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Free My Me out.